We cap off our race weekend here from Dragonett Super Speedway with race number 5 for Division 2 of the NNSCRA Skittles Super Speedway Series. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're ready for an exciting event. 29 laps on tap here today. And boy, did we have an exciting finish yesterday. A lot of pit strategy, too. So we'll have to see if that's something we'll have to look for in today's event. But nonetheless, an unbelievable finish. We saw Jessica Shelton get her first win of the season. But over here in Division 2, this is the division where we do not yet have a repeat winner. 4 races, 4 different winners. The most recent of them, of course, last week at M&M's, Jeff Scott becoming the second Dodge in Division 2 to go to victory lane, joining the likes of Caleb Farrell, Fury Gamington, and William Brock. Right now, as things stand coming into this race, 4 of our 8 available playoff positions are currently held by race winners, and still a long ways to go in the regular season. 29 laps, as I stated. Simon Salera lines up on the pole position. This is a team that's been really good last couple of weeks in terms of qualifying, and he will start on the front row with a former pole sitter this season, Dillon Young. We've also, I believe, gone 5 for 5 in different drivers starting on the pole so far this year in Division 2. But both these drivers have something in common. Neither one of them have won a race yet. We'll have to see if track position is going to be important for these drivers in their chances of making it to victory lane. We should bear in mind, though, Jessica Shelton yesterday started her race from the 34th position. 34th starter today is Oneal Balvin, trying to make it 3 races in a row where a Dodge goes to victory lane. We'll have to see if that is going to be the case. We are going to go down trackside now, get those most famous words in motorsports, and then we'll give you your top 10 the points coming into today's race at Dragonett.
Drivers, start your engines!
So as the pace car leads the 40 car field around, your top 10 the points coming into this race, and I know that it doesn't really matter that much on who is where in terms of that, with the fact we've got so many regular season races, and the likelihood that a driver will make it in based off of points is slim to none, but still, it's a habit I have, and so we're just going to go with it. Caleb Farrell, our Daytona winner, he is the points leader, 2 points in hand over our winner from Pigs Creek, Fury Gamington. John Andrews is the highest in the points without a win, and third, 6 points out of the points lead. Nathan Stapleton is 4th, 13 points back. And Jeff Scott, with his win last week at M&M's, jumped 16 spots up to 5th place. The pole sitter Simon Salera, he is 6th in points coming to this race. Benny Watson, who for the 2nd straight week will be starting in the top 10, he's 7th. Nathan Ormond had a huge jump last week. He's up to 8th place. William Flickinger dropped to 9th, and Michael Norman currently sits in 10th. Dillon Young, who starts on the outside of the front row, he comes into this race 11th in the point standings, so we'll have to see if his consistency will continue on. A couple of other drivers really jumped up in the point standings as well with good runs last week. Jake Hallec jumped up to 12th, 19 spots. Tristen Allen jumped 13 spots up to 13th, and Daniel Voyles jumped up 12 spots from 36th to 24th. But in turn, a lot of drivers dropped in the point stands as well. Biggest loser last week included Jesse Turner, Patrick Smith, and Chris Maley. Turner lost 16 spots. Maley and Smith lost 15 spots. All 3 of them right now outside of the top 20. We know for certain they cannot make it the whole 29 laps on fuel, but the pit strategy was so strange yesterday, we really don't have a clear idea of what the fuel window it really is. So maybe if we get a long green flag run, we'll get an idea. But let's go racing. Green flags in the air here at Dragonett. Let's roll. Simon Salera out in front. Battle will be for second. The Toyota of Alexander Rowe battling the Ford of Dillon Young. 3 wide already back there for around the 8th, 9th position. Michael Norman kicked up to the high line. Here's a battle for the lead. Rowe wants to lead the first lap. Alexander Rowe climbed 7 spots in the standings last week at M&M's after a 13th place finish. Comes into this race 18th in the standings, and looks like right now he is going to clear Salera, and he will be leading the first lap of this race, as they are 3 wide, 2 rows deep behind him, and also a little bit further back there in the field. Now, we saw 3 wide able to work very easily here at Dragonett in yesterday's Division 1 race. When we started getting into trouble is when this happens. They are 4 wide. Alex Gray tucks back in line back to 3 wide, but 4 wide. Oh, Dillon Young up into the wall, along with Watson and Hallec, but they all saved it, and that's going to bunch the field up. Everyone checking up, trying to give room. I think they all made it, though. Wow, that was close. That probably should have been a caution. Nice save by Dillon Young, though. He pancaked the right side. Possible damage as well to Benny Watson. We'll have to drop back in a moment and see if they are up to speed still or not. Don't know how hard an impact it was for them. Dillon Young got the worst of it, I do believe, as Adam Garcia now will go to the top position. And here comes our Armory Digital winner, William Brock. As I stated, 4 races, 4 different winners. But in this type of system, in terms of the playoffs, you can get 2 trips to victory lane in the regular season. You've basically locked yourself up a spot in this season's playoffs. So that white car down the bottom there, 3 wide, that's Jeff Scott, last week's winner from M&M's, as now Tristen Allen to the inside of Brock for second. We're going to drop to the rear of the field, and there you see Dillon Young trying to keep up. I don't know if he is off the pace or not, running 198 off of turn 4. You can see as he comes by the damage to the right side of his Hooters Ford, and that's going to hinder him aerodynamic-wise. I think he is losing a little bit of ground with the remainder of the field. Right now, Josh Drake at the tail end of this pack. Jack Hallec and Benny Watson were 2 others that were involved. We got a wreck! That's Rowe! Alexander Rowe around, and a lot of drivers are piling in. Oh, we got a car upside down. That's Vince Almariego. I think Benyacko might have been over as well. Big wreck. Fitzwater is in it. Patrick Smith, Galloway, Dillon Young is also involved. Lopes on pit road as we race back to the caution. Sedale Salera trying to get at him. Garcia can't do it. Garcia will lead us under the caution. Big wreck out of turn 2 and onto the back straightaway. Probably the biggest wreck we've seen so far this weekend. There's Galloway. Josh Drake was riding at the tail end of the pack. He is involved. Dillon Young. 2 incidents in the first 5 laps for the 2 car. Patrick Smith, boy, this guy needed a good run. It's not going to happen. Smith came into this race in the 26th position, had a horrible outing last week at M&M's. There is Lopes. There's the car that was flipping over, Vince Almariego. Eric Sadler, looks like he was involved. There's Benyacko, there's Rowe. Both drivers had great qualifying runs this week. Caleb Farrell, the points leader. A lot of damage on the DC Comics Chevy. And Zachary Fitzwater as well, who was starting to climb out of the cellar of the point stands, had moved up to 36th. A lot of damage on the Auto Trader Chevy. Looks like there could also be some rear end damage on the back of Levi McIntire's Ford. We'll see as he goes by. Yes, he was involved as well. So the caution waves for the first time today, and I thought I saw some damage on the 72 of Stapleton. Maybe it's just the way the shadows were hitting the hood. And with this early yellow, there's no way that coming to pit road, they'd be good to go the entire rest of the way on fuel. So nobody is coming to pit road, at least up at the front of the field. That gives us the opportunity to go back, take a look and see what happened. We'll first look at what happened to Watson, Hallec, and Young off turn 2, and then we'll take a look at what brought out the caution the following lap out of the second corner. This was back on lap 2, and this was right up at the front of the field as well. We didn't get a good look at what happened. We were kind of busy looking at the front. Adam Garcia there in the 29. Is he going to maybe make some contact with Benny Watson? I don't know if he makes contact, but he does go down there. I think Watson figured he was going to get forced 4 wide. So Watson's trying to move up. At the same time, Jack Hallec is pinching him down on his door. And it's just a shoving match. And there you see Dillon Young, who was on the outside of that 4 wide. He gets the worst of it. Watson and Hallec never made contact with the wall. Dillon Young took the brunt of all of it. And Dillon Young, who came into this race 11th in the point stands, that's certainly not what he needed, and it put him way back at the rear of the field and gets him caught up in the wreck that takes place on the following lap, it's almost a carbon copy of what we saw that happen there with Watson, Hallec, and Young. Here you see Lopes. He's going to drive it into the corner deep. Car slides up, and I'm not really 100% certain that Ormond made any contact with him. Squeezes Almariego and Rowe up into the wall. 45 went up on his hood. There's where Benyacko gets involved. Track's completely blockaded up. Nowhere for anyone to go. We're going to use the helicopter cam to see here. There's where Eric Sadler's involved. He got into Rowe. McIntire is going to get run over by somebody. Oh, Smith into Farrell into McIntire. There's Josh Drake. I think John Andrews might have gotten through. Fitzwater nowhere to go in the 59. And who's that car up there on the high side? I think that's Oneal Balvin. Got a piece of it in the 11. And there you see Almariego flipping. And Dillon Young never lifted. Bottom of your screen. Comes flying in. If he had just slowed down, he probably would have been able to get through. He needed a caution so he could come down pit road, repair that right side damage. And instead, he gets involved in the caution. Wild ride there for Vince Almariego in the 56. And there you see the points leader. Caleb Farrell might not be leaving Dragonett as the points leader. And I don't know, how did Galloway get involved? I don't think we saw that. I don't know if we're going to be able to see either. A lot of smoke. Oh, he was the one that first made the contact with Rowe when Rowe was sideways. It's not the best at camera angles here, but we'll see what we can see. Right there. You can just barely see it through the smoke. Where Galloway gets the 83. And then, yeah, this is the problem with this kind of camera angle, is it doesn't transition to the back straightaway very well. There we go. Now is a little bit more of an idea. Oh, yeah, Balvin, a lot of damage there in the 11 car. And there you see the 56. Up and over, end over end. Benyacko was also up in the air. We had 3 cars that I know of that were at least airborne. Benyacko, Almariego, and Lopes. And that car fortunately comes down on all 4 wheels. Big wreck out of turn 2 and all the way down the back straightaway. Puts us under the caution for the first time today at Dragonett. Let's go back for the restart. Green flag will come back out on lap 9 of 29, so that will give us a total of 21 laps remaining. And already, only 8 laps into this race, we have the garage area starting to fill up with a lot of drivers, including Fitzwater, Farrell, Dillon Young, Vince Almariego, Alex Benyacko, Alexander Rowe, Jordan Lopes, Jake Galloway, Oneal Balvin, Patrick Smith, and Josh Drake. So out of the 40 cars that took the green to start this race, only 29 will be taking it here for this restart. And the drivers this is going to hit the worst in the point standings would be drivers like Dillon Young. He was 11th in the points. Lopes was 14th. Benyacko was 16th. Rowe, Almariego, they were 18th and 19th. A good run could have put them up inside of the top 10. That will not be the case. Speaking of the top 10, Adam Garcia will get us back underway over Sedale Salera, Jeff Scott, Cody Llamas, and Alex Gray. Completion of your top 10 are Tristen Allen, Charles Sandfer, William Brock, Simon Bloomfield, and Nathan Ormond. Caleb Farrell will undoubtedly lose the points lead here today. As the green flag is back in the air, Farrell is officially finishing this race in 31st. So for Gamington and Andrews, they just basically have to finish the race to have a shot at taking the points lead. Even Nathan Stapleton and Jeff Scott have a chance of taking the points lead. Battle for the lead. We saw them drag race to the line to the caution, but it was Garcia over Salera. Not sure it's going to be the same this time. Sedale's got a good run into the corner, and he's got some Chevys behind him. Alex Gray, Charles Sandfer, Nathan Ormond, and Simon Salera, his brother. Remember, Jessica Shelton won yesterday's Division 1 race. The car out of Retro Racing Enterprises. Well, look who's up here. Charles Sandfer. Can that team go 2 for 2 this weekend? Sandfer's the only one of that stable in this division. Kyle Matthews and Shelton were both in the Division 1 race yesterday. Sandfer's got Nathan Ormond with him. Alex Gray in the middle. Sandfer to the inside of Salera. But he might find himself in the middle because Ka-chow, here comes Lightning McQueen. Nope, McQueen's not going to be able to make the move. Oh, I'm sorry, Nathan Ormond, not Lightning McQueen. I lost my head for a minute there. It looked just like Lightning McQueen. No, I actually did know it was Nathan Ormond. I'm making a joke. Laugh at it. Ooh, that's not funny. Simon Bloomfield and Jeff Scott leaning on each other, and we nearly had a wreck off of turn 4. I think we better keep an eye on back here because this does not look like a happy situation. Cody Llamas way up on the high side of this 4-wide situation. He's going to try and get out of dodge. Bloomfield and Scott still making some contact with each other. It's so congested right up here in the front of the field, and we're going to go 3 wide for the lead. It looks like Simon Salera, big run with William Flickinger. Puts Sedale up top, Ormond in the middle, and the pole sitter's going to go back where he started, out in front. Got some teammates working together there. Couple of Toyotas out of Otter Island Motorsports. The 77 of Jesse Turner, the 72 of Nathan Stapleton, behind the blue oval Ford of Keith Batson. And a frame drop in a pear tree. William Flickinger now to the race lead. This guy started off the season so well, but his finishes have somewhat tapered off. He's still 9th in the point standings, but still trying to get his mojo back. And not too far behind Nathan Stapleton there is the 71 of James Shelly. Now, why is James Shelly so important? He's dead last in points. Talk about a guy who needs a good run. Right now, Camry Fusion 1-2, and everything breaking out behind them. 4 wide again. That's Karson Gum in the middle. Voyles low. Gray in the middle. And up top, Adam Garcia. They are almost 4 wide, 2 rows deep. Karson Gum in a world of trouble. Same for Alex Gray. They cannot lean on each other. That's not going to work off the corner especially. The car down low wants to push up. We saw that was what happened with our first yellow flag. The car that was in the middle, inside line of the middle, pushed up, and that's what caused the wreck. They have to give each other room off the exit of the corner if they're going to make it out of turn 2 without bringing out another yellow. There's a guy right now that looks like he could be in line to take the points lead heading into next week's race at Madrid. 6 points back coming into this race, John Andrews. Not too far back, though, is our winner from Pigs Creek Fury, Gamington, who was 4 points ahead of Andrews and 2 points behind John Andrews. Ooh, Watson got tight off the corner. Contact with Norman, who in turn got up into Sandfer, but they keep it together for now. And are they 4 wide again? Oh, lordy, they are. They are 5 wide. No. No. Okay, we're good. Oy. They were 5 wide. For a brief moment, in 3 and 4, they were 5 wide. Good grief. Do these guys have a death wish? Oh, slow car. Eric Sadler, the 14, in the way. And he's holding people up. That just allowed Nathan Stapleton to get away with the lead. Voyles to second. Just now, 3rd place on back getting by is trapped in that high sider. James Shelly, Keith Batson, William Flickinger. They're losing spots hand over fist because of the slower 14. Now, if these guys can stay single file, they will run Stapleton and Voyles down very easily. Also, I'm noticing we are past the halfway point. We are maybe going to get an idea of what the fuel window is here at Dragonett. This is the longest green flag run I think we've had so far this weekend. But I'm pretty certain that these drivers are going to have to pit because we only have had, I think we've only had 1 caution, haven't we? Yeah, just 1 yellow. That was back on lap 6. Nobody came to pit road under that yellow flag. And so I think we're going to be seeing these drivers have to hit pit road. Now, I don't know exactly where, but if I had to wager a guess, I would say the fuel window is somewhere around 21 to 22 laps. So I think we could see these guys on pit road somewhere within the next 4 to 6 laps. Nathan Stapleton comes into this race 4th in the point standings. That's another guy who, with this good run, who could have a shot at maybe taking the points lead into Madrid. Daniel Voyles, on the other hand, he's been trying to climb up through the standings. He's now up to 24th after he had a great run last week at M&M's. And another good run today could get him closer to getting into the top 10 in points. Their problem right now is they need these guys to continue to race because they are getting closed in on very quickly. Jeff Scott, last week's winner, leading this group with Tristen Allen, Simon Bloomfield, Nathan Ormond, Gamington, Maley, Watson, both the Saleras, Andrews, Llamas, and I believe that's Adam Garcia right there at the tail end of this group. And here we go. There's the pit stops. That's Stapleton and Voyles first and second, giving up those spots. Bloomfield is in. Sandfer, Turner, Simon Salera, the pole sitter, Norman is in. And Sandfer's got the glitch pit box. So for his sake, I'm hoping the car that doesn't have the pit box right next to his is stayed out. Let's just follow this real quickly, and he's down and away. Thank goodness I don't think the glitchy pit box is going to come into play in this race. It did in yesterday's race. Took Matt Haas out of the event. Tristen Allen now the race leader over Jeff Scott and Sedale Salera. Looks like Salera is going to be coming to pit road this time, trying to get himself to the inside. Allen is going to pit as well. Scott will stay out. These pit stops taking place between 10 to 13 laps to go, which says to me this is the only pit stop these drivers will have to make today. Jeff Scott has that win in the bank last week at M&M, so he can roll the dice, try and maybe play for a little track position. Jack Hallec in the 13 also stayed out. I think he was on pit road under the last caution, so he can make it a little bit further on fuel. Remember, he had that contact with Benny Watson and Dillon Young before we had the wreck. And so he came down pit road, got some cosmetic damage repaired. And now as Jeff Scott gives up the lead, that's going to turn the lead over to the 13. So I think that we're going to have Hallec out here at least a couple more laps. He's roughly, I would think, 4 to 5 laps better than everybody else. He's also probably going to be giving up some time, though. See if anybody else has stayed out. I don't think anybody else has been able to stretch it this far. Well, maybe. Cody Llamas, Fury Gamington. They're second and third right now, and I don't think they've been to pit road yet. So I think it's just the 13, 15, and 10 that we're waiting on to come to pit road. And I'm pretty certain Llamas and Gamington did not come to pit road under our only caution. So they're probably going to hit pit road this lap. Yeah, Llamas is coming in. Gamington is not going to come to pit road. So he stays out. Hallec comes to pit road. So that turns the lead over to our Pigs Creek winner, Fury Gamington. So Gamington's going to get a bonus point for a lap led. Gamington trying to take the points lead again. He's been the points leader one time this season. That was after Pigs Creek after that victory. And trying to go for a third straight win for the Dodge manufacturer here in Division 2. Now the question is, when does he hit pit road? Trying to see if there's any indication of him waving to Bloomfield saying, I'm coming to pit lane. I'm not seeing that indication. He's going to continue to stay out. There is no way that Fury Gamington can make it the rest of the way. Even if he had come to pit road under that caution that we had, there is no way he'd be able to have saved enough fuel to be able to make it the rest of the way, because we still have a little more than 7 laps to go. It'll be 7 to go when they hit the stripe next time by. Looks like he's trying to save some fuel there as he's allowing Simon Bloomfield to pass him. It's going to give him the opportunity to have a little bit of draft, which is a fuel conservation method at these super speedways. It all comes down to when he pits. I'm also looking to see where the potential battle is going to take place after this, and it looks like Sedale Salera moves into second, so I think he's going to be the one that this battle for the lead is going to be starting with. And that wasn't too terribly far ahead of where Balvin was where Gamington was running, rather. Yeah, this right here I think is the race for the lead. Sedale Salera out in front. Stapleton would be second. Jeff Scott, Tristen Allen, and Jack Hallec, that would be your top 5 if they are able to bypass Fury Gamington. They were 35 seconds back from the 10, as Stapleton now to the inside looking for the lead. Where's the 10 car? He's coming off pit road. The field just hit the line, 28 seconds behind him. Gamington might be able to come out with the lead, because Stapleton and Salera, they're about to catch Eric Sadler first. And that is a teammate to the 10. Gamington off pit lane onto the surface. Stapleton's going to get by. Oh, goodness. Sedale Salera getting blocked in, as is Jeff Scott. These guys have a lot of momentum, though, right now, as Charles Sandfer now moves into second place. There's Gamington, and the field looming large in his mirror. Look at some of these guys we've got up here. Sandfer, Batson, Ormond, Shelly, Gum, Allen. As Gamington hits the line, we've got 6 laps to go. And we now have a new leader. Wow, they caught Gamington almost like he was standing still. New leader is Nathan Ormond. Shelly moves to second. Backmarker Motorsports teammate Karson Gum now to third. Tristen Allen in fourth. And Kyle Langeland, who had his best qualifying start of the season, started this race from 7th. He's up in 5th place now. Now teammates will battle for second. Gum to the inside of Shelly. Nathan Ormond coming into this race. He is 8th in the point standings. Had a great run last week at M&M's. Jumped up 15 spots in the standings. Last week he finished top 5 and 4th. Now he's going to have to hold off the Blue Ovals, Kyle Langeland and Keith Batson, the former Hershey's Cup Series champion. And he's not going to be able to hold him off. They're closing in on someone. I think that's Levi McIntire's 99, who is somewhat off the pace. You can see the damage to the rear of his machine. And I think they're going to catch him before this race is over. They're going to catch him maybe before this lap is over. Fury Gamington was able to merge in with this pack, so now he's back up to second. I think we've got, might be 10 cars in this pack. Nope, we have, yes, 10. 10 cars in this pack with a chance for this win, as now Batson will go to the lead. And it was interesting there that he got the lead with the aid of another Blue Oval. Levi McIntire kind of playing a little bit of defense for him there. Rob Evans is the next car they would encounter. He is just now coming out of turn 4. The field is going into 3. It'll be 3 to go when they hit the stripe. I don't know if they're going to catch him or not. To my knowledge, Rob Evans is up to speed. He just has lost the draft and never was able to regain it. So I don't think he is off the pace, which means he'll be a little bit more difficult for these drivers to get around if they catch him. 3 laps to go here at Dragonett. Shelly now to the inside of Batson. Couple of former champions in the past few months. Shelly winning the Pizza Hut X Series Championship, and Keith Batson winning the Hershey's Cup Series Championship, and Retro Racing Enterprises looking for the weekend sweep. Charles Sandfer up here in the mix in that GoBowling.com Camaro. Right there in your shot, those are the 10 drivers that have a chance really at winning this race. Sandfer, Shelly, Batson, Langeland, Allen, Stapleton, Gum, Gamington, Ormond, Hallec, and then a little ways back trying to catch back up. Oh no, I'm sorry, those are the only ones. I thought I had only named off 8 drivers. Apparently I named off 10. Now Langeland to the inside on Charles Sandfer. Tristen Allen offering the drafting help. Nathan Ormond right there as well. Who's going to have themselves in the right place at the right time coming off turn 4 for the checkered flag? I'm looking towards the rear of the field here at maybe someone like Ormond or Gamington, who are on the bottom third, fourth on that inside line. Because this time by, they are going to see the white flag. Langeland, Allen, nose to tail. Ormond goes low. He's going for second. Can Langeland hold them off for one more lap? Side by side for the runner-up spot. Ormond down low. Allen up high. Allen's got Karson Gum. Ormond's got Fury Gamington. Ormond's got a run. He's going to go to the inside of Kyle Langeland for the top position. But will he have the drafting help? There's a lot more drivers on the high line than on the inside line. Langeland trying to clear up top. They're still side by side into three. Can Ormond clear Langeland? Langeland's still fighting tough. He'll have a good run off the straightaway here unless Ormond can clear him. Ormond's trying. He's not clear yet. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Ormond, Langeland battles back up high. It's going to be Ormond by a splitter, winning here today at Dragonett. Woo! You saw it was setting up for a photo finish. That might very well be the closest finish of the season so far, and it takes place here at Dragonett. Nathan Ormond, after a top 5 last week at M&M's, jumps from 23rd to 8th in points, and now goes to victory lane for the first time in his career in the Skittles Super Speedway Series here at Dragonett, and now I can say it, ka-chow! What a battle there at the end. Langeland so close. What is the official interval? 12 1/1000ths. I'm pretty certain that's the closest finish we've had so far this season, at least to my knowledge. And Nathan Ormond's going to take home the victory, and he joins Farrell, Gamington, Scott, and Brock as a potential candidate to represent in Division 2 in this season's chase for the championship. Langeland so close, will have to settle for second, but a great finish, his best finish of the season off his best start of the season. Tristen Allen up there, that's his best finish of the season as well, as he'll get third. Fury Gamington brings it home in fourth. I think that might be enough to take the points lead heading into Madrid. Karson Gum going to finish the top 5 out with a 5th place finish. Stapleton brings it home 6th, though he'll stay up in the top 10 in points. Sandfer so close there to making it a weekend sweep for the Retro Racing Enterprises team, but he'll get 7th. Keith Batson 8th, James Shelly in 9th, and Jack Hallec finishes in 10th. Basically, the top 10 were going to be the top 10 unless something drastic happened, because they were the only ones up in the lead pack. On the way on down, Sedale Salera gets 11th. Jeff Scott brings it home 12th. Alex Gray, Cody Llamas, William Flickinger, your top 15. Then it was Wright, Andrews, Watson, Norman, and Bloomfield, your top 20. Only 27 cars finished on the lead lap. Voyles, Turner, Brock, Maley, Garcia. Don't know what happened to Garcia. He was up at the front early on and must have had an incident on pit road. 25th for him. And Simon Solera, the pole sitter, all the way back in 26th. Rob Evans will finish last car in the lead lap in 27th. Levi McIntire finished a lap down, 28th. Eric Sadler 2 laps down in 29th, and everybody else out of the race after the wreck that we had back on lap 6. Fitzwater, Farrell, Young, Almariego, Benyacko, Rowe, Lopes, Galloway, Balvin, Smith, and Drake. Farrell came into this race the points leader. He will not head into Madrid atop the point standings. I'm pretty sure it will be Fury Gamington, but Nathan Ormond will also head into Madrid as a former winner here this season in the Skittles Super Speedway Series. What a photo finish with Kyle Langeland to take the checkers. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We have shown you your full finishing results. These are your point standings heading next week, the race weekend at Madrid. After that, we go to Pensacola. All that on tap coming your way next week. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.